you know, from Charlotte, North Carolina. So listen, welcome you guys again to Beverly Hills Book Confab with Readers Magnet. We are super excited that each of you have come out today. I'm so excited to hear from you authors as well. And thank you to everybody that just showed up today. Isn't this amazing, you guys? I can't hear you. That's it. Now, as we have our authors coming up, I need you to make some noise for our authors too. Can y'all do that? Let's practice. Let's welcome such and such. What do you do? I'm loving this crowd already. I'm loving the crowd already. So listen, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna give you a little background, right? Don't you love background? I know I do. So hey, the book Confab started in 2022 in Tribeca, New York. Did you know that? I learned it too, right. And so then what it was is an informal gathering of authors like you guys that are sitting out there and the book enthusiasts that are out there too. And so not only did we do it there, but we went on to San Francisco, you guys, in April of 2023. How about that? And so we couldn't stop there, and we traveled on to San Diego, which wasn't that far, okay? But we did go, right? In, let's see, what was it? August of 2023. And then, you guys, we could not stop there either. So we had to go all the way to Manhattan, New York. Yes, in December of 2023. And now, fast forward. Where are we now, you guys? Beverly Hills. So this is our fifth book confab here in Beverly Hills, California, right? Hey, wow. So we are super excited once again to be here. And I want everybody that is watching us live, listen, I want to thank you for watching us, okay? I want you to go tell your friends, tell your mama them, the auntie and them, and everybody that we are live here today at Reader's Magnet in Beverly Hills, okay? And so listen, what we want to do now is we are going to bring up our senior manager from Reader's Magnet. He's going to come and share a couple of things with us today. And so let's welcome now Mr. James Dunn.
Oh my God, good morning. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much, Tish, for such an energetic morning. How are you guys? Are you doing good? Doing great. It's always an exciting moment to be part of Reader's Magnet, especially when we're doing a book confab. And you heard Tish, right? This is our fifth session of Reader's Magnet Book Confab. We started in Tribeca, and then we got demands coming from our clients and authors and book enthusiasts to keep doing this. This is the Reader's Magnet original, and we're so proud of it. How about you give your consultants, all the team from Reader's Magnet a hand for gathering us all together to be here today. I can see familiar faces. Jamie is our resident book confabber, I would say, since we started, and I'm happy to see new faces here as well, and we have invited guests coming from different industries. I believe we have from the film industry, we have a book publisher as well. We have invited guests to be here. We have David Tuttle. How are you, sir? We've been together in London Book Fair just last month, and I know you guys are so excited to be part of this. Should there be anything that we can help you, our team is always ready to assist you to the best of our abilities. And this is going to run for 2 days. We're going to start off with our amazing author, Jill, in the next few minutes. And tomorrow, I hope you guys are going to be here as well to listen to more of our authors who are going to be part of the book confab. Are you guys a little bit nervous to speak here in front? Well, that's somebody that I did not expect to say that, Jamie. Exactly. It's always a restart in every event that we do, right, Jamie? Okay, so again, guys, thank you so much for being here. Just one basic rule: if somebody is talking here in front for the book talk, I hope you guys will observe silence so that we can pay attention. We are also live to our Reader's Magnet website, to our social media accounts and Facebook, Instagram, and on YouTube. And at the same time, we are doing a simultaneous, I would say, telecast with the tishbarnhart.com on her show. So I'd like you guys to give a hand to our invited host for today, Tish. The first time we met Tish was in Germany during the Frankfurt International book fair. And now Tish is hosting the ReadersMagnet Book
Wow.
Confab. Are you guys ready? Are you guys excited? All right, ladies and gentlemen, I give you once again Tish Barnhart.
Well, James, you should have. Thank you so much. That was such a wonderful introduction. And yes, we did meet in Frankfurt, Germany, you guys. And I want to tell you something. You know, whenever an opportunity presents itself to you, sometimes you don't know how you're going to do a thing, right? We look at it and we might think that it's a little bit bigger than us. I don't know how I'm going to do this or what have you. But I said, God, you know what? If the opportunity came, it means it's for me to go. And so when I gave God my yes to go, then the pieces of the puzzle begin to come together, okay? So let me talk to you out there. If there's an opportunity for you and you don't know how you're going to do it, give God your yes and watch him work out the rest, all right? He'll work out the rest for you, amen. And so we had our Festival of Storytellers in January for 2 weeks. It was a 2-week affair. I met so many lovely authors and book enthusiasts that traveled through the online portal there. And it was such an amazing turnout. We had over 200 authors, I believe, that attended the event. And it was such an amazing setup by none other than QR right here, the brand and marketing team manager there. They did such a phenomenal job of putting everything together there for us. And bringing me to this point, I had the opportunity of interviewing our first author that's getting ready to come up, none other than Jill Frederick, you guys. Make some noise. Woo-hoo! Yes, so let me tell you a little bit about Jill, okay? So her book synopsis is this: Students Who Connect Your Dots, a complete course on critical thinking. Now, when you hear critical thinking, like, oh goodness, this is going to be a whole lot, right? So she says this: critical thinking is essential to process and analyze information logically and effectively. Students who connect your dots challenges people of all ages to make sound decisions. How many of y'all have made sound decisions or maybe bad decisions sometimes? I know I have. I can admit it. I'll admit I've made a bad decision sometimes. But Jill is helping us today to make sound decisions. Somebody say sound decisions. Right. Solve problems. Oh my goodness. You know, when there was math going on back in the day, you know, those problems with the square root of something and this and that, you know, I couldn't imagine how to solve the problem really, but you know, Jill here is going to let us know how we can solve hard problems as well. Isn't that wonderful? And evaluate the validity and truthfulness of information and arguments. Well, it encourages you to question your own biases, leading to open-minded and informed perspectives. Those who study and practice these ideas and questions become more independent and responsible learners, preparing for success in academic and professional careers. Now that is amazing, right? I'm not done yet though. So about the author, Jill Frederick, PharmD, received her doctorate in pharmacy from Shenandoah University in Winchester, Virginia, and her degrees in chemistry and pharmacy from Westminster. Did I pronounce that right? Westminster College and the University of Pittsburgh, you guys, respectively. She has extensive, and I said extensive, you know what that means, right? So that means you got a whole lot, right? Okay, so extensive evidence-based knowledge in medicine, natural supplementation, disease prevention, detoxification. I'm gonna talk to her after the show about the detoxification, okay? We all need it, I ain't ashamed to say I need it, okay? The body and body functions, diseases, disease states, and natural immunity. She is a noted and accomplished public speaker, presenter, and educator, diabetes care specialist, writer, artist, performer, director of pharmacy, and media personality with a passion and personal and professional growth and helping people feel and live their best life. So let's welcome right now to the stage Miss Jill, or Dr. Jill. Let's give her another hand. Clap, you guys. All right. She can. Hello?
Yeah. Well, thank you very much. It's such a pleasure to be here today. I'm coming from Fort Myers, Florida. And I do have a slideshow back there, but it's behind you. So I'll refer to it when the slides change. And hopefully they'll go along with my talk for today. Yeah. So you can advance to... Okay. So if you look for that, and slide number 1, I just have my intro there, which just says the name of my book and my name there. Apologies, everyone. I want to start Students Who Connect Your Dots. And I'll give you a little background. Tish gave a wonderful summary of my background. So I started as going into chemistry. And while I was there, I thought I was majoring in basketball because all I wanted to do was play basketball. I did end up graduating chemistry there. And then I went on to my pharmacy career and graduated from pharmacy and then started practicing my field. And then I ended up going back and getting my doctorate. So after that, within a year, I was the director of pharmacy. So I have a lot of leadership background and experience in my time. And from there, then, yes, I went to write Students Who Creates Your Dots, and that's where we are today. So let me ask you, when I say the words Who Connects Your Dots, what do you think of out here? So this is going to be interactive. Tish mentioned that you have to be quiet, but I'm telling you to be loud. So who has a suggestion on what Who Connects Your Dots means?
It makes you think properly.
Yes, and your name is? Thank you first. Yeah, yes. So who makes you think properly? And if you advance the slide one more time, I think we're on slide 12. Who connects your dots? That was my question to you one more time. And just see a picture of a high school there. So if you think back just a few short years when you were in high school, what kind of you caught that, right? What kind of thinking did you do? What kind of learning did you do in high school? And I'll just kind of jump in the punchline. Who learned by memorization? Because I know I did. A lot of memorization. Yes, same here. And that was actually my high school there, and it's in Pennsylvania. And if any of my graduated class is watching, you'd be in the top floor, all the way to the left in the back class, world culture class. So in that class, it was very quiet because all we did was take notes. And we ended up with about between 11 to 20 pages of notes for every test. Now there were different topics within there. We had to memorize every single one. And then when it came to test time, he gave you the name of the topic, and you would write word for word every single thing that was on that one section, and you had to memorize all of it. And in all of my schooling, that was the only time I ever developed an ulcer. And that was from high school memorization. And to this day, honestly, I don't remember anything from that class. And if you could advance to the next screen, please. Now we're at Westminster College. You can see that on the bottom is the main building of Westminster College. It's in Pennsylvania, New Wilmington, Pennsylvania, and it's absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous school. But in the top right-hand corner, you'll see Point Science Center. That's where I spent a lot of my days in the science department. So in that science department, in order to graduate, you had to take biology. So, of course, didn't we all? So, I took biology, and if you can imagine, because everyone has to take it, it's a very large auditorium with everybody there. So, I figured I was a number in there, which I felt like I was, but the teacher pulled me out one day, and I was surprised. I thought maybe he had a basketball tip for me or something, because I thought I was doing just fine in there, and my grades were doing really well. But this man pulled me aside and said, "It's about your thinking." And I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "You're just memorizing and spitting it back out." And I said, "Well, isn't that what you're supposed to do?" And he said, "No, it's not." So he was the first one that introduced me. He didn't say it in words, but I mean, in the exact terms, but he introduced me to critical thinking. And before that, I had no idea, because I was taught to memorize. And maybe a lot of you have had some experiences of just memorizing in our careers. So I have many examples of not critical thinking throughout the school. And I'll just give you one quick one here. In the top of that same building, like Science Center, I ended up being the chem lab person, and I was in charge of the chemistry department in the top floor off the right. So in my non-critical thinking days, I was pouring acid into a pipette, and you can probably figure out the end of this story already. So I did not close the valve on the pipette, and I went ahead and I poured the acid in there, and I poured myself a new pair of shoes. If you imagine about where my feet hit, and I had a three tile section that needed to be replaced. So they knew me in that chem department for many years, and 15 years later I went back and there were 3 tiles that were different in my same spot. So they knew me for a very long time, and that is an example of not critically thinking. So keep that in mind. I have many more to share, but that biology teacher was the start of my new way of thinking. Granted, it took a long time for me to get there, but he really had me thinking. Okay, and the next slide, please. Now, if you think back in time, even about 2,400 years ago to like Socrates and Plato and Aristotle, these guys were amazing, deep thinkers. Now, we may or may not agree with what they thought about, but no matter what, we know that they were amazing thinkers. However, this man, John Dewey, in 1910, he is the one that coined the term critical thinking in his book, How We Think. So all that time, but the term only came around in 1910. So if you advance one more on the screens, now we're back to my book, Students, Who Connects Your Dots? So this brings us full circle to why I find it so important to talk about critical thinking. So in this book of mine, I focus on students and any student age, which is a wide variety of ages, about thinking critically. And when you think critically, you're thinking logically. You're making sense of things, and you're analyzing information, you're evaluating it, and you're finding truthfulness in the information presented to you. We are presented with so much information, and it's hard to tell if it really is truthful. So it's up to each one of us to determine whether or not we find it truthful, and to search both sides and evaluate both sides evenly without having a bias. So that is critical thinking. In my book, I start with the first 2 chapters of explaining what critical thinking is and how to think critically. I give both sides. If you really think critically about it, critical thinking involves both the decision making and the evaluation of truthfulness of information. So I present questions on both sides of the story. In this particular book, I weigh a little bit heavier on decisions, especially when we send them off into the world. So I present many chapters in there, and I include topics such as healthy relationships, health and nutrition, budgeting and finance, leadership skills, school and career choices, and even things like being accountable and blaming and not blaming people. And that really is based on being accountable for your own actions. So many people today are not accountable for their actions and start blaming other people. So I address all these in there, but in a very unbiased way. So you really take a lot from the book, and you're not feeling convicted in any way. It is completely about learning and exposing and making you aware of your thinking and of the students' thinking. And it's just the importance of making logical decisions. And would you please advance to the next screen? And have you heard of herd mentality?
Uh-huh.
That is a picture of herd mentality where, all these people in a line, all blindfolded. I don't know if you can see it on the online news, but yeah, so that is what happens, and that's what you look like when you herd mentality out there. So it's very important for you to be an individual, or else you are conforming to the herd. And if you could advance one more time, and now look what could happen. You could hurt yourself if you continue to herd mentality. Someone's going to fall in a pothole, someone's falling off of a finger there, and someone's falling off of a cliff. So it's very important to be an individual and think for yourself and not rely on what someone else is telling you. So evaluate the information first. And Robert Frost has one of my favorite quotes, and I might not say it correctly the whole way, but you'll get the gist of it. And don't take down a fence until you know why someone put it up. Mm-hmm. And that is all the basis of critical thinking. So you have to know what is going on before you make a full decision there. Okay, could you please advance the screen one more time? Now we're just back to my book, Students Who Connects Your Dots. This is my 7th out of 8 books. And the basis of this book now, it's a complete course on critical thinking. I'll tell you about the rest of my books in a minute here, but this one is a full, complete course that anyone can enjoy. It can be used, I'd love to see this book get into schools. I would love for people to start teaching at an early age about, or in private schools, in public schools, home schools, online schools, charter schools. I'd love it in every school, and even in businesses, in their orientation programs, in churches, in any kind of leadership realm, wherever you want to build a leader, this book would apply, because it's all critical thinking skills that we all need to learn, and we all need to evaluate the truthfulness of information, and just really learn to make good decisions and how to make them. And I have applications in every single chapter. So you are practicing, you're asking yourself questions. And the idea is to program your mind so well that it's automatic. You don't even have to think about it anymore. And the likelihood that you're going to make better decisions from now on all the time increases tremendously by programming your mind ahead of time. And if you could please advance the screen one more time. Now, here are my first 4 books. And I call them the 3-step process for personal and professional growth. The first one is elevate your mind to success. And this starts at the beginning where your thinking starts. If you're not where you want to be in life right now, it's because you're not thinking the right way. So you've got to change your thinking. So get back to being aware of where your thoughts are. And if they're not where you want to be, change it. So declutter your mind. And I talk about obstacles that are in your way there. And we want to remove the obstacles and fix them, not just ignore them. We want to tackle the obstacles and go through them. And so I tell you how to do that with a variety of different obstacles. And then clear your mind and fill it with positive thinking and the success strategies that you want to change your life. And then part 2 is Success is Elemental, the green book. And that is all of the leadership skills, success strategies, somebody's calling me great, and character qualities we want to build in you. So it's what you put in your new, clean, refreshed mind. And then part 3 is my first book on critical thinking, Who Connects Your Dots? And that was based in general. And whereas I said with students, you lean more on logical decision-making, this book is more on telling the truthfulness of information. And I got that just by watching the news. It just came to me when I watched this broadcaster, news person, talk so passionately that she was right. And I thought, wow, that sounds really believable. Turn the channel, and this guy was so passionate, and he sounded right too, but it was totally opposite. Right. And I would have been convinced they were both right. And I knew that couldn't be the truth there. So that made me think, wow, they are so convincing. How can we make our own decisions and not just believe what they say, but we need to evaluate for ourselves and be an individual and not conform. And it doesn't matter in the end which one you side with, as long as you've done your own thinking and your own evaluating and you decide for yourself. So that's where that book came from. And I just wrote it like crazy. It was so fun to write. But with my medical background, I thought there are so many medical issues in the world today. I had to add my medical twist to it. Mm-hmm. So it's the same idea, but I add all the medical things that are current today. So it's a very current book about medical issues in the world today. And one or the other can be the third. So that's where I got the 3-step process. And could you please advance the screen one more time? And this is a book I just finished writing, and it's at the publisher now, When Leaders Don't Lead. And part 2 is When Coworkers Don't Co-work. And this came about as I was giving a presentation, and I kept getting these questions about ineffective leaders and feeling unappreciated. And I thought, oh my gosh, this is a whole book in itself. This is something that really needs to be addressed, because we spend most of our days working. Why not enjoy what we're doing? And I love to enjoy my work. And I don't care if I'm leading or if I'm co-working, I don't care where I'm at. I want to enjoy the people around me, work as hard as I can, feel good about my work and myself, and help whatever business I'm in. So once I started writing it, this again was such a fun book to write. The first whole part is about employees who feel unappreciated or have difficult leaders, whether it's a narcissistic leader or just an ineffective one who doesn't have the skills. Yep. And I think everyone can relate to one of them within there. But no matter what, if I didn't hit your category, I think I hit your answer though, because I couldn't hit every title. Sure. It's really, the answers really aren't that different on how to work with an ineffective leader. So I include all the remedies in there on how to work with this type of leader and to have an amicable relationship there. And so then part 2 is if you are the leader and you have an employee who is disengaged, resistant, an entitled employee. But I ended up with, I think, 9 chapters for ineffective employees, and also the remedy on how to work with them and how to mentor them and bring them up to speed so they're productive and hopefully they are retained in there. And within this book, what is so valuable too is I couldn't help but not add leadership skills with every chapter. So every chapter includes a character quality and a leadership skill. And if you practice them, and I do all application skills, so you continue to learn and practice along the way. By the end of the book, you're going to have 15 character qualities and 15 leadership skills embedded into your new fresh mindset that you just cleaned out and did your 3-step process on. So it's a wonderful book. And I had to slow down and stop because they were getting, it was as thick as this book. So there's probably going to be a sequel. And I didn't have this in my presentation, but the book I've been meaning to write is called The Missing Variable. You may have heard me talk about it. And on my flight over here, I already have another chapter for that book on the missing variable. We had a plane delay for about 5 hours in Atlanta. So it led for a great topic. So if you could advance one more slide, and how am I doing for time? I have a lot to say, and I don't want to take David's time. So, I'm okay? Okay. And now I have disease prevention. I wrote these 2 books after the first 4 because I felt like I'm in the medical field and I haven't written anything medically related yet. So, and these are very near and dear to me. They're digital copies only, and they're called COVID Prevention and Parents COVID Prevention for Kids. But what they are is disease prevention in general. And they are suggestions. I'm not going to say I require them or anything like that, but they are suggestions on building your own immunity. I believe in natural immunity. Yes. I am very strong on natural immunity, and I believe your body is the best defense against any kind of disease and illness. Absolutely. And you will find that in both of these books. Awesome. One are remedies for adults, one are remedies for a child age. So that's why there's 2 of them there. And I also have a lot on my website about disease prevention. I am a true believer of it. And I build different disease states, but all natural remedies on my website. I'll get into that a little bit more later. Could you please advance one more time? Oh no, it's not my slide. It's supposed to say Lamonify. Oh, maybe the the bottom didn't fit. But on one of my presentations, a funny and lighthearted viewer talked about hashtag Lemonify. And that is because I was talking about detoxification, which Tish had mentioned. And we had talked about a lemon fast, a lemon water fast, and lemon scented candles when you're in a detox bath. So it was all this lemon stuff and then all the detoxification stuff. And he came up with this clever Lemonify. So I'm using it and I am holding on to that title. It is such a neat word. But anyway, on my website too, I talk about detoxification. I truly believe in it. I believe in detox baths and getting all these toxins out of your body. Your body is so much more effective at natural immunity when you clear these toxins away. Whether it's through natural supplements or some kind of sweating, whether it's a detox bath or running and sweating, or they're just fluids, getting fluids through your body. There's lots of ways to detoxify, and I talk about a lot of them in saunas and salt rooms, things like that, all on my website. So there's more about that, but I truly am a believer in detoxifying your body. Please advance one more time. Here I have Dr. Jill's Apothecary Shop. I am in the process of working on my own shop of all natural meds. It's a made-to-order, where I will build the actual immune product that you want. Whether you want a 12-in-1 or you want 5 things in there, I will combine them into 1 unit dose made to order for you. I believe we're all individual. We all have individual needs and different allergies and so many different things. And if you think of something like Alzheimer's, you might need 5 meds. Now I'm talking natural medicine right now. I'm not a prescription, but there are some alternative things that are really nice to try. And say there are 5 products you want to try for an Alzheimer's patient, but that's a lot of capsules for an Alzheimer's patient. So if they're combined into 1 unit dose, made to order, the exact strength they need, just compounded. Isn't that a beautiful thing?
Yes, absolutely.
So that's the premise of this new business, a made-to-order natural supplements, and it's very exciting, and I love it. I'm just waiting for all the right passionate investors to finish up here on my first stage of it, but I look forward to this being a new endeavor. Advance more time. All right, and so on my website, I have a tab called The Natural Pharmacist, and this is where I have the natural pharmacy blog. I have 2 different blogs on my website. One is all about disease prevention and detoxification and building your immunity. It's a passion of mine. It's all free information, and I just love to share that. And I'm going to continue to build disease states in there. So it's going to continue to grow in case you don't have something on there. I can probably fit a lot of the categories myself, but there's pain management, there's inflammation, Alzheimer's, so there's a lot of good things, and it'll continue to grow. So please look on there and help yourself to any suggestions that are on there. And then one more time, please. So my website is called A Book in Time, and it's at www.abookintime.net. And on there, I have a regular blog as well called the Book in Time blog. And that is where I have all my leadership stuff. So it's separated into leadership, all my leadership skills. And then the other one was where I have my medical stuff on there. But also on here, I have my bookshop. In this website, I have my bookshop where all my books are possible to be purchased or find a way to find them. Amazon and Barnes & Noble. And I also will mention that my book, The Medically Speaking, Who Connects Your Dots, is now out on audio. They all will be out on audio, but it just came out on audio with narrator Benjamin Fife, and he did an amazing job. He's got an awesome voice to listen to. I listened to it and took notes for my own book already, and I thought it was really good. He did a great job. So that's out there too, and Who Connects Your Dots should be out anytime now. It's already been approved. It's just being downloaded into the sites as well. So you're going to have to get on the site and find out more about these books and learn more about the site and different ideas on disease management, detoxification, and leadership skills. There's so many things out there to be learned. And the last slide, please. I'm on my last one. Thank you so much for listening to me today. And as many of you, I'll be at the LA Times Book, the Festival of Books I hope to see you there more. And does anybody have a question for me right now that I could get?
Just for clarification.
Yes.
Your books are about leadership, but not medical issues. Is that right? Or are there books
All
as
except
well?
those two, I have 2 digital medical books.
Digital. Okay.
Yes, on they're actually disease prevention. I call them COVID disease, but they're disease prevention, and for parents, it's disease prevention. And then my Medically Speaking Who Connects Your Dots has medical aspects that are going on in today's world, vaccinations and some more controversial things that have medical.
But that's all through your website.
Yes, on the website.
Another question, if you don't mind. Nobody else has a question? So in your talk, I was a little unclear or something. I got the impression that you hear an argument on one side, and then you hear an argument on the other side. They're opposing arguments. People discussing those arguments believe that they're
Correct.
true. You said then you have to discover which is truth for you. Is that different than absolute truth? In other words, are you looking for absolute truth based upon research or what fits your belief system? There's a distinction.
There is. And me personally, I want the absolute truth. So for me personally, I know maybe not everybody would feel the same way, but for me, I want to know what the real truth is. So I would research heavily until I found the truth. I used to be a little more influenced, and whichever one I wanted to be true, I sided with. But now I dig deeper, even if it's not what I want to hear, see, or believe, but I want to know what the absolute truth is. And I would hope that would be everyone's intention, is to find out the real truth behind this.
It'd be nice if you could apply that to politics.
That's exactly right. I know, I'm trying to be, but yeah, exactly. In politics, I would love to hand out free all of my books there. Yes, thank you for the question. Yes.
I get the feeling that your sole goal or your dream, your inspiration is for people to feel inspired to be the best version of themselves at every level. Break that down all the way to cellular. And you're more able to make wonderful decisions for yourself and for other people if you're a leader. If you're healthy physically, emotionally, psychically, or every other way. And so many of us, in this country especially, everybody's raised on the wrong food. And it warps your brain in a sense. And then you're spending time of your life inflamed and fighting disease. And, you boil it all down. And it's so interesting to hear you talk about everything sort of being boiled down into like a soup. That includes everything.
What is your name?
Lisa.
Lisa. Yes, that's exactly right, Lisa. On my website, I put body, mind, and soul. That is my goal, is when you feel healthy, that really is where it starts. You have got to feel good first.
Absolutely.
And when you feel well, you make better decisions anyway. So that is exactly right. I truly desire for everyone to get themselves healthy in the best way possible, in a natural way that really will keep rebuilding your body, not just Band-Aid. And then with a healthy body, then a healthy mind. And I would hope a healthy soul goes right along with it. And there are other ways to bring that soul right along with it. But yes, I love people. I love dealing with people. I met so many wonderful people on the way over here, and that was such a delight. Just all the different people and just talking and hearing their stories. And I just, I want the best for everyone. And what the way I've written is exactly like you're saying. You really picked up on that. And that's why it looks a little pieced together, but I did want to get a medical side in there, and my whole website is devoted to the whole picture. And it just might take a while for me to get all the right books to entail this, but yes, my desire is to help people, body, mind, and soul, in the way I know how. So this is my best way of sharing that with everybody. So thank you very much for that question. Yes.
I know you talk a lot about like this detox life, you know, very like clean and stuff, but like, what advice do you have to detox from toxic people? Because I feel like that's detox too.
I do have that in my books. Yes, I definitely, and elevate your mind to success. It is. I talk a lot about toxic people and narcissistic people, and yes, there are answers in there about toxic people, because I am sure every one of us has some kind of toxic person in our life. I know I have, and I think it's something that we all encounter. We can't help but encounter it because we're in different scenarios, whether it's in a school setting or work setting or just people you run into in a subway or something like that. You know, sometimes you just come across toxic people, and it's nice when you program your mind to already know how to handle these people and how to deal with it. And most importantly, not to take it personally, because the problem is with them. And you know, as long as you know you're not doing something intentionally to irritate them or to egg them on in some way. But yes, I do cover, and even in Success is Elemental, the first 2 books there do talk about toxic people and how to handle the situation with them and how to better prepare yourself for when that happens. What is your name? Carter, thank you so much for your question today. Is there any other questions I could answer?
I mean, like, I understand your book is like teaching people to read. Sorry, I was a little late. I didn't catch the beginning. But what are your thoughts on people that like just don't want to be leaders? Like when I was in college, you know, I did a lot of group projects and stuff, and there are people who just like, no, I don't want to be in charge. Or even like in work life, like there are people who just don't want to be managers, but like they've worked at places for years. Or like, for example, like I'm a writer myself. I write. I'm a screenwriter. Like if I have a character who doesn't want to be a leader, but they're put in charge or something, like what are your thoughts on that?
Oh, I think it's wonderful because we need all kinds of people. And there are times in my life where I wanted to lead, then I didn't want to lead. In my book, When Leaders Don't Lead, the whole first part is for employees who don't want to be a leader. But what that part does is help them with leaders who aren't leading effectively. So they can still work and enjoy their environment, but hopefully with a leader that you can work with and enjoy your time there. But there is nothing wrong. We all need to pick what works best for us. If someone's in a position of not wanting to be a leader, then they don't need to be there. They need to enjoy where they want to be and enjoy it well. And that's why that first part of When Leaders Don't Lead allows that person to, I got a car beeping behind me here. Trying to steal my thunder. But yeah, and it's still, I think, a great idea. These books still help you to be the best person you can be in whatever you're doing. Still, you can be healthy, and it's still, character qualities are important no matter what position you're in. So I include that in every series of books I have, and we still all need to be a respectful person, a good worker, a good part of a team. So I'm hoping I answered your question.
Oh yeah. My name is Michael.
Michael, thank you very much. Is there any other questions I could answer? Thank you very much.
All right, that was awesome from Dr. Jill Frederick, you guys. Let's give her another hand. What an awesome presentation today. You know what stuck out to me was her acid bomb that made her develop the critical thinking, right? So have you ever done something so tragically, and so you're like, okay, I'm not gonna do that again, right? Yeah. We've all had those moments. Absolutely. And so that rang out to me when she was doing the fixing and everything. And so, you know, oh my goodness, you know, things happen. So one of the things that I want us to do is I want you to visit her website, www.abookintime.net, for all of the fabulous books that she has that she went over with us. One of those being When Leaders Don't Lead. That's a good book there. And then her other book, Elevate Your Mind to Success. Take your thoughts to a higher level. And somebody in the audience asked her a question, and they said, how do you detox from toxic people? So I'm going to tell you how. Go to www.abookintime.net, and I want you to pick up the book, Elevate Your Mind to Success, honey. So we want to get rid of the toxic people and then go and move forward in our success. Amen. Yes, I love it. And then also now she mentioned this, for those of us that have ailments and different things going on, and those of you that are tuning in live with us on all the various platforms, listen, if you've got some things going on in your body and you want a natural approach to things, I want you to visit her website where she can build you, eventually it's coming soon, build you a natural supplement that will be conducive for your body and your particular needs. And I can't wait till it opens, Dr. Jill, because I'm going to have you to build me some stuff, so I can slim down and all that good stuff naturally, because I'm not with all the other stuff out there, right? I want to, look at the things within the earth. So she did an awesome job with her presentation today. Thank you again, Jill. So awesome. So our next author that we have coming up is none other than David Tuttle, you guys. So let me tell you a little bit about David and his book. So his book synopsis is this: Soul License, Tips and Tales. Soul License follows the author through his experiences with spiritual energy, spiritual guides, psychics, and angels, following readers to come away with a feeling of hope and peace. The book shows readers how to recognize messages sent from their deceased relatives on a daily basis. In addition, the author shares his wisdom of easy ways which will help readers and their deceased relatives. Help readers relieve stress and manage their daily lives, knowing that they are not victims of their surroundings, but are simply following or not following their spiritual paths. The book takes readers through the author's life's lessons, showing examples that nothing happens by accident, and we are all connected on our earthly journeys. About the author, David Tuttle lives in Boise, Idaho, with Hills, where he enjoys many athletic pursuits. He was a U.S. Army combat medic in Asia, a newspaper journalist, a press agent for both the Ohio Secretary of State and Ohio Legislative Caucus, a COU/CHFC financial advisor. So if y'all want to talk about your money and get your money straight, David Tuttle, okay, is the man, all right? And so then now he is also a Reiki master teacher. He has a BS degree from Ohio University and a master's degree from OSU. Tuttle has been to all 50 states, you guys. I'm trying. I think I've been to about 6 so far. So I got a ways to catch up with David, all right? And 25 countries, including Uganda, Kenya, and Egypt. So let's give it up and receive David Tuttle. Woo! Welcome, David. There you go.
I wrote this book, Soul License, Tips and Tales. Louder. Okay.
There you go.
I'm not used to this.
There we go.
I wrote this book, Soul License, Tips and Tales, because I was being hounded by my spirit guides and angels, like through the psychic. And they would tell me I had to write something. And this is about 12 years ago, and 3 different psychics told me that my spirit guides and angels were telling me to write something. So I wrote a blog at that time and put it on the net. I figured I'd be done with that, and my mission was accomplished. But 12 years later, I was on vacation in Michigan, and I saw the psychic was there. I thought for fun I'd get a psychic reading, and I did. And she said I had to write a book again, or my spirit guides were saying I had to write a book. And I had been receiving emails from a professional psychic, Nathan Praw, and he, which I've been ignoring because I had no intention of writing a book, but the deadline for his writing class was 3 days after the psychic reading. So I wrote the book 2 years later. Here I am. But it basically entails all the interactions like that. Angel guides, reaching your relatives very easily by just observing things out of your existence. For instance, license plates, that's why I call it so license tips and tails. But numbers and letters can basically, thinking of anniversaries, birth dates, things like that, you can get messages from.
Just until sir.
Okay, you can get messages from the other side. It's not, you think, oh, you can make that up, you know, that's probability, you gotta have something there. But it's the exact time, the timing of this is when the messages become critical. When you get the numbers and letters of deceased your parent or something like that. I receive these every day. I walk through the parking lot and pick up all kinds of things. And it's go on vacation. I find my car is surrounded by license plates on cars, which indicate my deceased relatives and my wife's deceased relatives are there. Now in my book, I talk about a lot of other things. I talk about synchronicities, which a lot of people think, oh, that's just happenstance. But a synchronicity is something that is on purpose. And anytime you think that something happens to you, oh, it's not unusual, it's on purpose. Even I visited here to wherever we are, California. But I got because we were in Beverly Hills, I thought, okay, I'm going to see how they live up in the mansions, and I saw that I could rent a place and put up in the top for a couple of days. And I found out, I went in, I was 2 hours early to get there. So I talked to the landlord a little bit, and he ended up, and his wife, and he was showing me stuff in his living room, his pictures of his great grandfather that had, he was an artist, and put on in Germany, because this guy just immigrated in 1984 from Germany. And I started talking about my German heritage, you know, that 10 years heritage German. My mother's side is German. And he said, where in Germany do they come from? And I said, Hesse-Darmstadt. And then he and his wife started talking in German, ignoring me, and going back and forth in the conversation. And here's this guy's name is Hesse, and his relatives are from the same area. My great grandfather was from that area. They came over in 1840, I think. And my great grandfather was in the Civil War. And nobody knew him because he passed away. My mother didn't know him. But so this was kind of a message to me that my grandmother on that side is bringing in her father, because in the book I talk about my father's mother, who also crossed over, and it's an interesting story, but I'm not going to tell you now. You can go through it. But it's just, in the book, what I do is I give you a lot of points, things you can do for mind, body, spirit. Meditation, tapping. Probably nobody here has heard of tapping, but okay, if you look it up on the internet, you can do that. It's a very simple technique that can relieve stress, heal you, or some fashion goes upon the thinking chiropractor. There's energy flowing in the body. But a lot of different things you can do to make your life easier in that way. And I give you a lot of stories that continue through my life and circumstances, synchronicities, the relatives coming in and stuff like that. It's a short book, so I don't talk too much. It's a book that's filled with facts, and it's facts according to me. I'll let you find it on hospitalizing, but find your own way. But there are plenty of books out there that, just motivating you through Earth's energy, how to do that, and know whether you're going with the energy or against the energy. If you're having a bad time, you're probably going against the energy. So all good energy is flowing, and you have to be open to the good energy. And if you do that, that's what you're going to get. If you think of the world in a bad place, negatively, you're going to bring some of that back to you, because what you think about, you get. So you have to keep careful what you're thinking about. And are there any questions? Anybody out there think they've gotten some messages from their relatives, not through a psychic, just on their own? Yeah.
A year ago, I recently lost my grandma. Sorry, I might cry. But I've had some dreams. Like, I usually don't have, before she passed away, I never dreamed. And then about, like, maybe a week after her funeral, she came to me in my dreams.
Right.
Yeah. And then even before she passed, she would tell me that her brothers that were in heaven, she would tell me that they visited her in her dreams. So.
Yeah, usually you have to go to a psychic for that. Right.
I had it when my husband passed away. It's been 31 years, but I was sitting there. He loved his rocking chair, right, or his lounging chair.
Yeah.
And this is probably within that week of his passing. And I'm standing there with my 2 cats next to me, and the chair decided it wanted to move like as if he was sitting.
Yeah.
That was like, whoa. I guess I consider him my guardian angel. He's always watching out for me.
Yeah. And when you get over on the other side, you can stay there and study and, build up your knowledge of what's really happening. Or you can choose to come back and reincarnate. You can and you do that with, talking to pillar light people, and you decide what would be a good thing, and you come back and try that out. Some people think they can do too much, and they have hard lives when they come back. But it's what you can do. You can stay over there and just live a good life and continue learning, because there's quite a bit more to learn on the other side than there is here. But or you can come back to Earth to increase your spirituality, increase your vibration.
Yeah, he was only 29, so
Yeah,
that's probably
yeah.
that.
Oh, and you also decide when you're over there, you decide when you're going to die. Because basically, when your mission's done, there's no reason to hang around down there. You come back to the other side. That's where you really belong. But we're all here we're on a mission, and maybe a very small mission. You think in your mind that every mission is a big mission. It's your mission. And when that mission's complete, whether somebody shoots you or it's a baby that dies just right away or something, that was planned on the other side. Sure, right back there, and then you come back if you want to, or we're all looking for a different experience. And to experience that, great things here on Earth. And
Yeah, he accomplished what he wanted to accomplish on this earth.
yeah,
He did.
yeah.
I'm not a strong believer in the afterlife or the other side, but when you refer to the other side,
Right.
how does that mingle with religious beliefs? Is
Okay.
it separate or different?
Separate.
Is the same?
Yeah, well, it is both ways, because we have religious doctrines, but you don't need religious doctrines to go to heaven. You can be a total atheist and say, there's nothing out there, and you still go to heaven. But, if you're a bad person and you go to heaven, what I've read, but if you're an atheist, you'll go over and say, how can I be so stupid? You know, but because it's really awesome. But the if you're a bad person here, if when you cross over, you'll be in a different energy station, and basically with people that believe things like you do. And people that are in a higher vibration can come down to visit you, but you can't go and visit them. But eventually, you will rise as time goes on. Hopefully, have relatives that have a higher vibration that are pushing you up there. But you know what we want to try to do here is be the best possible people we can be, raise our vibrations, love, forgiveness, just emulate the most positive person or entity that you can imagine, and go for that. To be, we're all eternal spiritual beings. Like even if you talk about different personality characteristics and things like that. All these people with different personality characteristics that you may not like, they're basically just showing you what you don't like in yourself. And your so-called enemies, that was planned. You learn from your enemies. You learn, okay, they're teaching you something too, just send them love and forgiveness. But, does that answer your question?
Yeah, and it's separate, but it has similarities to religious beliefs.
Well, yeah, exactly. But you don't need all that. You don't have to believe in certain things.
Right.
Like in that ideology, each one has a certain thing you have to believe. Well, you can believe that. I don't care. I've seen both directions. I was raised in Christian church.
Yeah.
Whatever. I don't know. But when you cross over, you'll be met with a being light. And if you're a Christian, you probably think it's Jesus. If you're a Buddhist, you think it's Buddha. But they can shapeshift into anything. When you meet your parents, if they come to greet you and you cross over, they may come as you remember them, but they're actually, from what I've read, when you cross over, you're about age 30 or something. You can be at whatever age you want to be, 28, 29, 30. Supposedly, that's a good age.
It's whatever God chooses.
Yeah, whatever you do.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to do.
Have to consider what age.
No.
Any other questions? Okay. Well, my book is available at Barnes & Noble and ReadersMagnet. And the price is going to go to $6.95. It used to be when I first learned it was $12.95. I came to ReadersMagnet and said, we can sell that cheaper. No, I got a new cover and reduced the price. I think that'll be really beneficial. But, a lot of good information in there, and I think there isn't a person here who could read it and get something out of it. Literally, entrepreneurs and a bunch of different things, not just getting messages from the other side. So that's it. Any other questions?
So I do believe in the numerology because the numbers that come up for me are 444.
That's dangerous.
And whenever I'm about to do something crazy, I just look around for confirmation. If I see 444, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do it. And it works out.
Yeah. Well, I even have my angels get me up on time when I'm traveling. I said, I said, wake me up at 3 o'clock and I was ready. I was preparing to come around and do it.
Look at that mess.
You have to set the intention. I think if you like that, I just have to make sure they're always positive. I don't feel like no or hate or anything of those other things just go over. And anybody that talks to you and married or wife, just send love and forgiveness because because they gave you the lesson. And you have learned from them, I'm sure. And you go on further in life, you'll find someone else, or you'll find other people. Any other questions? Talk about the other side.
The other side is an old concept, starting with the ancient Greeks. If you died, you crossed the river Styx, you went to the other side by going over the river Styx by ferry.
And that's what I mean. Every belief system, whatever you believe, is going to be on the other side. You'll see initially.
There's nothing new.
But you can move to whichever area you want. We're all spirits, eternal spirits and physical nature. Any other questions, observations, complaints?
Who was like your inspiration for writing this book? Like, who were you thinking of?
Oh, I'll tell you. Okay. As I said, I wasn't really looking to write a book. I just kept getting these prompts. And so when I wrote the book, then I asked every time I sat down. I only wrote when I was inspired. And every time I sat down, I asked my angels and guides to be with me to make sure everything there was, the best it could be. Blah blah blah. And so the inspiration just came in that fashion. I didn't start out saying, "Oh, I'm going to write a book about this." This wasn't really going to happen.
What started your interest in this topic with angels?
Oh, what started it?
Yeah.
Okay. Back decades ago, I read a book, or my mother-in-law had a book called Life After Life by Raymond Moody. And I read that, and I was sitting on the table and asked her if I could borrow it and read it, and I did. And that brought me to reading more books, one of which was written by a pediatrician. The kids would come back and they'd be shown pictures of their grandfather or something, and say, "That's what I saw in heaven," blah, blah, blah. But that led to me reading literally hundreds of books, and spending thousands of hours reading them. And for example, Tisha mentioned that I was a financial consultant and so on. And my wife was a teacher, and I'd be out on the porch sitting, and rather than doing something that she thought I should be doing, she said, "Why don't you get up here? What have you been doing?" I said, "Well, I've been sending light to the world." I was reading in the universe, but and that just kept on moving on. I go to conventions. I went to psychics, and some of these, I might go to psychic once or twice a year or something. I just went on vacation. But I would always get my wife. I only do about 15 minutes, and one of them said that he said that he was going through all this stuff, and then he said, "I had a guy that got a lot of money. And I told him to get a lot of money, and he wanted a hot dog. And he was indicating that I was going to get a lot of money. And I thought he was a little crazy. But a couple months later, I got a big check from the VA on a claim that I filed on that. But, but it's all the way, not spent in that case. Wrap up. All right. So just make sure you buy the book. It's very inexpensive now, so you can read it even if you think this guy is hogwash. Check out the book, and I'm sure you'll find something in it for you. Thank you.
All right, let's get up and get it done, you guys. He came up here and he was like, I don't do this kind of stuff, but with the mics and all that stuff. But sometimes we have to conquer what we don't do, right? So David, you did a wonderful job of coming up here. Let's give him a hand for his book called Soul License, Tips and Tales. So you can pick this book up for your mind, body, and spirit and healing. So of course, you guys, we are recording live here on all social media platforms, the Readers Magnet platform on Facebook. We're also streaming live on www.tishbarnhart.com, which is my website, and also the Facebook page of the Tish Barnhart Show. So listen, if you're just tuning in with us and you like kind of like, what's going on? I want you to go back this evening and you can go back and watch everybody that came up today, okay? So we're going to bring up now our next author, who is none other than Jamie Pulse Fry. Now, I had the opportunity of meeting this phenomenal author here at the Festival of Storytellers. Remember, I was telling you guys that we did that for a 2-week period. We had over 200 authors who attended the live event book tour there, and Jamie was one of them. I had the pleasure of interviewing her and also being in one of the roundtable sessions with her. So she is such an awesome, awesome lady. So her book synopsis is this: family memories with a little mystery in it. Now, I like that. That's a good title right there. Family memories with a little mystery in it. So here's what she says. Family matters, and although you may not understand it at this time why, there are 5 benefits that you will receive or learn from this book. This book will show you how a family can help a kid grow and turn out to be a great adult with God and family by their side. That's awesome. Love that. This book will also show you what and why we have happy family memories. How happy family teaches us happiness, strength, love, and forgiveness. Ooh, now you know that'll talk right there. Forgiveness. We have to do it, you guys. Even when you don't want to, you have to do it. Forgiveness is not for the other people, it's for you. Because whenever you continue to hold on to things, you have given your power over to them. Because guess what? Many of them are going on about their lives. They're not thinking about what they did to you, said to you, any of that stuff right there. You up all night, sleeping, crying, all this other kind of stuff. Guess what? They ain't missing no sleep. So forgive them and let it go, okay? All right, so here we go. About the authors, she said that forgiveness and where they are here, when they are here, and when they are gone. About the author is this. She is a faithful member of Lancaster Baptist Church, Lancaster, California. She likes to serve and volunteer in various areas of the church and West Coast Baptist College. This is her 4th book, and she hopes it will be a great help in the future with why we need to give our children a reason to have many happy family memories in our homes. So that's beautiful. Let's clap our hands as Jill comes and shares more with us about her book. Welcome, Jill. I'm sorry, Jamie.
Well, thank you for. Can you hear me? Yes. Okay, we're good. That's okay. We're gonna move it. That's right. Trying to keep this in range, you guys, because I don't like mics in my hand. I just don't. Can you hear me even if where it is? Okay, good. No, it's fine. Okay. Thank you, guys. My name is Jamie Poulos Fry. As she said, I've written 4 books and I'm working on a 5th one. And that one is encouraging. We have. Let's see. These are my first 3 books. Encouraging your friend with our trials. We have Servant's Heart from the Voice of a Volunteer and A Widow's Cry. We will talk about those later, but we are talking about family memories with a little mystery in here. I called it this because there is a mystery going through each chapter, through the book, and I hope you can figure out what the answer is at the end. So it was just an encouragement, something that I had family memories, and then I thought, wow, I want to put a little hint in here. A little mystery going through the book. It just encourages people to go through the book and read it, you guys, okay? And so basically, I was a little surprised and happy because usually I was telling, I usually am the last person, okay, in one of these, and I ended up being the first. So I was really surprised, you guys, to see that I was out here. And it's amazing to see how we grow. I've been doing this for 3 years now, and I'm basically, I would like to thank Readers Magnet for sponsoring this event today. And you can follow me on Jamie's Bookshelf. You can follow me on my website, which is www.two4avalon.com, as well as in Facebook and Instagram and tweet. I'm still going to call it tweet, even though he wants to call it X, which I think is really silly. And so basically, I am talking about my family memories today. I have all kinds of interesting subjects and pictures in here. And I'm going to read here as well, okay? Not just talk about my book and me, okay? And there's an interesting step from Westers when she was talking about me going volunteering at West Coast Baptist College. Well, I did something silly at my age. May 12th is my birthday, and I will be 62 years old, you guys. I have been back to college. I already have 2 degrees, you guys. Now I am finishing something I started way back in 1980, which was my music degree. So I've got 2 BAs. One is administration, one is human resources, and one's business and business management and stuff. Because the job I had said, oh, if you want us to help you pay, you've got to take these classes instead of what I wanted. Well, I was blessed. They transferred over 57 of my credits. So I only have 2 more years to go to finish and get my music degree done. So we are growing and learning and writing books and doing different things at whatever age that we're at, okay? So now let's see, we're gonna start, and I'm gonna read the forward part in my book. The reason I started writing this book was because of one of the proofreaders of my books, Winifred, and she noticed that, stated that I left my husband, Jack Allen Fry, in a hospital bed, and my readers needed to know how he got there and also to know, more about our lives together. Well, my first book was Encouraging Your Friend with Our Trials. As you can see now, you say I was going to talk about it later. And it tells you how he got there and how, now I will try to tell you how his life, our life and our stories together. Most of my books are positive books. I'm not going to sit here and talk to you about all the sad and miserable things that happened, but I will tell you, I had been to Beverly Hills probably for 3 years in a row and never got to visit it. Because my husband was a lung transplant recipient. And so every month we would have to go to get his blood checked and all that stuff. And it was an all-day thing. And so now this is a positive thing instead of a negative. So I'm a Christian, so most of my books and everything are nonfiction. So they are experiences that I have gone through, and basically to encourage other people and to let them know that we can all get through it no matter what, okay? So life got in the way, and the book was put on the back shelf. Later, it was picked up again when my mother, RM Book Confab, passed away August 17th, 2021. It was kind of strange because my husband passed away the same month, and so did my father. So James John Poulos, which is my father, passed away on August 29th, 2011. My parents were about both 84 years old when they passed. They were 9 years apart, you guys. So it doesn't matter when you get married and what age limits, or sizes or heights or whatever. It all works for everybody. It's different. So don't have all those myths about what age limits and sizes and all that kind of stuff, because it works for you. And then Jack Allen Fry passed away on August 5th, 1993. My husband was 29 years old when he passed. So they were all in August. And so I've had a friend who said, August must be the worst month for you. No, it's a way of remembering them. So I try to look at things a little bit differently. Now I'm going to read the table of contents. This will help you a little bit to understand the book. The first chapter is God's family, where we first met. The third one is relationships. The fourth is fun times. Fifth is loving care. Sixth is family travel. And seventh is faithful wife. 8 is family gifts. And 9 is reading bug. And the 10th is past choices. And the 11th, make happy memories. 10th chapter came in, was not there to start with. And it was because I experienced something when I was writing this book. And it was just one of those things that I chose to think about. I had back then in the 1980s, which was when I was in high school, we were the first ones to do the SATs. I know I'm aging myself, but that's okay, I'm 62, almost. And we took the SATs. I did something because I chose to. Didn't tell my parents until later. I got every single university I would ask for. I put in 9 or 10, and I got every university. I could have gone to any university they wanted. But my parents couldn't afford it. I didn't take any, I didn't try for doing anything, for any money or anything like that. And so I just took it and did some trash. Didn't tell my mother till 2 or 3 years later. I just went to junior college, okay? And which is kind of a blessing. I started singing in junior high, and I had the same choir conductor, junior high school, and college. And I laugh about it, it's even in the book. Who's following who? And I realize now he was kind of my mentor. Some people say, no, you were his guinea pig. I'm like, no, I enjoyed what I did. He taught me and encouraged me along the way with my music as well as life. And look at me now. I'm still enjoying music, and I'm still in a church choir, and now I'm going back to school for it. I want to finish something I started, partly because of him, and my mother, and how they encouraged me down the road. So you guys, you have somebody out there that's encouraging you in whatever gift you have. Don't take it for granted. It's like most of my books, it's to encourage you to realize that your life is important. And we're teaching our kids the same thing. Even me. I don't have children of my own. But I used to be a captain of a ladies bus. And there was kids on that bus, which surprised me how much they watched me, and people are watching me all the time. At church, there are people that are noticing me. You didn't even know. I get on the choir, and it's, oh yeah, I remember you. You're in the front. And you're thinking like you're hiding. You're not hiding, you guys. Everybody sees you. Everybody notices you. We need to be a positive experience. We need to be a positive influence to everybody. So that's what this is about, you guys, okay? And let's see. Introduction. This is a statement that I want everybody to think about before they start reading this book. We do not choose our parents. God did. I don't know. I did not know when I would be where I would be right now if God did not give me my parents, James and Ellen Lewis. Does family matter? Yes, they do matter. And although you may not understand it at this time, there are 5 outreaching benefits that you will receive or learn from being part of a happy family with good memories. 1, spending time with your kids and making them feel special and needed in your life. 2, another reason would be just showing up at your children's events. Make time to play with your kids. 4, make family traditions that your kids would use and keep when they grow up. 5, teaching your kids about your job and including them in your day. This book would show you how a family can help a kid grow and turn out to be a great adult with God and family by their side. This book will also show you what and why we have happy family memories, how family teaches us happiness, growth, love, forgiveness when they are here and when they are gone. Okay? Now, chapter 1, which is God's family. I'm not going to read it all, but my mother showed me how to be wise with my money and give me a good work ethics. Plus, as children, we need to play and laugh out loud. And when I got older, to make sure when I do something for myself, that I need to do something in return or with my sister. She taught me that we are the glue that keeps our family together. Okay. Now, chapter 9. I have poems in here, and here's one that I'm going to read. It's called My Book of Books. This is a Bible by my bed that's comforting each time it's read. It's a therapy when I feel lost, advice that comes without a cost. This holy book tells what to do. When I feel all alone and blue, it is a roadmap every day. that one should follow all the way. There's full instructions on each page that never changes with the age. It's written plain and all is true, that tells exactly what to do. It is a book of books for sure. The one that opens up the door into eternal life, I'm told, where no one ever shall grow old. Okay, we will never grow old. Isn't that nice? I love that. I can be 30 years old if I want to. I think that's a wonderful way of looking at it. Okay, now let's see. There are some things in here that I want to talk about. I have put this book in a smaller version as well as a bigger version, okay, and as well as the smaller version in a hardback, okay. So what I'm doing is there are things my mother used to do, and that was called, we didn't call it quiche back then. It was just eggs, you know, scrambled eggs and putting things together. Well, basically, I chose to add some pictures and stuff. Here's a quiche. Well, she did a quiche without the bread, without the crust and all that kind of stuff. So she would just do the leftovers with the bacon and the whatever hamburger or meat or onions, whatever was left over. So we did things back then without thinking about a special name. To her, it was just scrambled eggs, you know, with a little bit extra to it. Okay, so, but there's a recipe in here for it. Okay, we use the bacon. Okay. And then let's see. My husband we both went to Ellen Valley College, and we took bowling classes and skiing classes and all these kinds of things. And there's pictures in here of our life together. Life is discovery. Life is this discovery. Yes, it was revelation new. It's learning about the Lord and yourself and others too. Each day is the gift of God. Its blessings therein concealing, but his grace will enlighten, and his wisdom shall reveal the beautiful mystery. The goodness life holds within. The God provides all things to lead you closer to him. Okay, so, and there is one special thing that I don't think anybody's going to be able to tell. I mean, I'm 62 years old. I have not been remarried. And that was something that my husband did when we were probably 18, 19 years old. He could not afford, because of where he was working, to get me a whole 12 dozen red roses. Okay? So to me now, 12 dozen roses don't mean anything. To me, it's like, you just copped out, okay, as a man. There is a list of all the different kinds of roses out there, okay? He chose a yellow one, a white one, a pink one, and 2 red ones. And we gave him 6 because that's all he could afford, okay? So, but here's a list of all the reasons. What's behind them? The yellow one, okay, is joy. It's friendship. Okay, you want that type of relationship that you're having with the man that you might end up marrying. He also did something else that was very special. Is we had not met yet. Okay, he didn't introduce himself to me yet. It was downpouring like cats and dogs. I had just gotten into my car, and I rolled down, and I'm in the car, and he's knocking on my window. No umbrella, no nothing, right? He standing out there, downpouring rain, knocking on the window to ask for my information, my phone number, my address, all that. I'm like, these are things that you cannot, forget a relationship with somebody. I mean, I'm trying to remember all the good things, all the positive things from the relationship I had with my husband. And those are things that makes happy family memories, you guys. Your past, as well as your future. You know, there's some things my mother, my cousin Erica likes peppermint bark. So I learned how to make it myself from a book on my book, right? So there's a recipe in here for peppermint bark. So, and I can make it from scratch, and it gives you a lot, and you share it with so many people. So there are, there's things in here on skiing. Some of the instructions, some of the things that we learned in the skiing class. There's stuff in here There's even a picture of my husband in here when he was 16, 17 years old. Okay? Okay. And let's see. He was also a scuba diver. So I learned how to ski. I learned how to bowl. I will tell you in here, I did not, he was a better bowler than I was. I did not bowl 300, okay, until the last day of the class. And it sounds so funny, but all I got was a pair of socks. You know, I didn't get anything special. But completing it and finishing it, getting the 300, okay? Ever since then, I have never gotten another 300, you guys, but that was a blessing. He was a very good bowler and a scuba diver and all that kind of stuff. His favorite meal that he liked to make was beef curry burrito. So there we go. His recipe is in here. Okay, making it from scratch. Let's see. His favorite place to go was SeaWorld. We had a season pass. Okay. And we went every single month. He was a scuba diver, you guys. He loved the water. He loved the fish. He loved them all. I have still slides that he made of hundreds and hundreds of pictures of all those animals. And he did the Renaissance dinner, you know, he also did that. He made some jewelry for me, Renaissance jewelry from scratch, okay? So he was he accomplished a lot in his life, even though he was only 29 years old, you guys, okay? Let's see. I know most of us do not like fruitcake, okay? But my mother found a recipe, and I found one similar to it called Nancy's Fruitcake, okay? And basically, it's from scratch, you guys. It's not fruit that's dyed and, oh, that's awful stuff. So your fruit and everything is all from scratch, okay? And it tastes better that way, okay? And it's a variety of, and you can put whiskey in it if you want or not, but it also is in there as well. Let's see. And you can also order it from a company as well. It's in the book that you can buy it as well. And they make them in little packages and put them in plastic for you, you know, and you can put it in your lunch if you want to. It's just a little bit, it's enough for like maybe 4 bites, but it's really good. And let's see. This is something I found in my bookstore at my Castle Baptist Church, West Coast Baptist College. It's called Family Rules. Be honest with Proverbs 12:22. Keep your promises, Romans 4:21. Count your blessings, Psalms 34:1-3. Be kind, Ephesians 4:32. Be thankful, 1 Ephesians 5:18. Forgive each other. Okay, Micah 7:18. Give for comfort, 1 Theosm, can't even say it, it's so hard to say. 4:18. Work hard, Colossians 3:23. Most importantly, love one another, 1 Peter 4:8. Okay, so there's a lot of things. There's a poem in here, attitude adjusting. You know, you guys, the gift of life. There's fudge in here, made from scratch. My mother got this from C's Candy, and so she's got a cute little thing that I did not tell everybody for a long, long time, and it's called cream of tartar. It really helps hardening up, because normally when you make fudge, it's really very soft. You add the tartar to it, and it makes it firm, and it still tastes good, and it doesn't give any extra flavor. So that's a little trick that she put in there. We all love to go to Solvang, Knoxberry Farm. The last trip I got to go on with my mother, she liked to go to Hawaii. She'd been to Hawaii, Alaska, and Canada. We went to Rome, Greece, in a trip, you know, with my church. And so we got to go to Greece. I'm Greek, or at least I would say I'm a quarter Greek. You know, my grandfather was Greek. My name is Poulos, okay, but in Greece, it's actually Panagopoulos. Okay, so it just means a small city. It doesn't, that's what it will be. And so we went there, and so that was a thing there. Let's see. We used to have a lemon tree. So we would make a lot of lemon whatever, you know, all kinds of lemon cakes, lemon cookies, all that kind of stuff. Well, I found this recipe. It's called lemon meringue cake. Okay, I've made it a couple times. Everybody loves it, you know. So the recipe is in here as well. Okay. Then also we have There's a recipe in every chapter, you guys, as well as the hint going through. Here's one of the hints. The Christmas wish hint for this chapter is ice skating. Okay, so you'll have to see what that is. Now here is another recipe, okay? And I know it says it's called Brown Cake Delight. But basically, I found this recipe in another book, you know, a recipe book. And I went, and they said, oh, cut your fudge brownie mix, you know, to cook, and you cut them in half. I'm like, I can't do that. It crumbled all over the place. So I doubled the recipe. So now you do 2 packages of fudge brownie mix, and you do the strawberry all fudge spread, and then you have your thawed reduced fat non-dairy whipping topping, and you have you have almond extract and strawberries and then chocolate sauce and all that kind of stuff. It's a cake that I made from church for my Bible class, and the men love it. It's, for me, my sisters burn me out on chocolate. They love chocolate everything. So I basically, this is fudge. So it's a different type of chocolate. And so basically it's just these recipes. For my mother, family was food. You know, so those are the things that a lot of families that are my age or older, you know, and then there's one recipe I like myself. It's called Magic Meatloaf. So it's in your crock pot, you guys. It's really simple. It takes a lot of the grease and everything, and it makes it a little healthier to make, and it's really quick.
So at the beginning of your book, you have a table of contents or a menu?
I have both. I have both. So you have to understand, food was important in life. It has been. Okay. And then my father, when I was younger, planted strawberries for me. Okay. So I honored one of the cakes. It's called Strawberry Triple Layer Cake. Okay. So there's a recipe. So understand, you guys, I did try out all these cakes. You know, I just put them in here and not try them out. Yes.
Did you happen to make strawberry rhubarb pie?
I do not like strawberry rhubarb. I do not. I do not.
Did your mother have any kind of recipe?
My mother loved it. Yes.
Did she have a recipe?
Yes. And if you went to Knott's Berry Farm and you went to the restaurant, you know, the chicken restaurant, they used to make rhubarb there. Okay, and that's where I first experienced that I didn't like. So my mom stopped making it. My aunt, her sister, basically my Aunt Mary, she told me later in life that my mother loved rhubarb and she used to make it all the time. And I didn't know. And I think mother didn't say anything because she knew I didn't like it. See how family does things for you, even though they don't, you know, even they would prefer to do something else, you guys. So, you know, you just, and basically, I'm going to read this one. God knows best. God knows best in everything. Though we cannot always understand why things don't work exactly as we plan, for he knows when it's time to bring the sunshine and the rain and an always cheerful rainbow to evaluate our pain. So always look to God above when your soul is needed rest, and when will soon be comforted by knowing he knows best. He does. He knows best in everything. Okay, so let's see. Oh, and then me, when I was trying to lose weight, I took low carb taco salad. So you guys, it's mostly vegetables, but here's a picture. And the recipe is right here, and it's got a lot of just all kinds of vegetables, and it was a low carb diet one, and it really did help me lose 60 pounds.
Wow.
Well, I love cake, you guys, so now I've actually put probably 20 of it back on. And when we were doing COVID, a lot of people were doing puzzles, right? And that was a thing. My father loved to do puzzles with me. My sisters and my mother, they would get so frustrated with making puzzles. I had patience. Puzzles taught me patience. So when we had COVID, there was a lot of puzzles that I made. Well, I just recently had a handyman help me put them up on the wall. So I have different ones in different rooms all over the house now. And they're Thomas Kincaid. So I could never afford the Thomas Kincaid pictures, you guys, you know. I have one, which my husband did buy for me. That's the only one I have, but the rest of them are all puzzles. But, you know, it's just something, you know, I learned. Okay, and then there's something my Aunt Irene did for us for New Year's, okay? And what she did was when we didn't go to the parade, she would make a special meal for us and we would watch it on TV. So basically, I called it banana boats. Okay, it's a very healthy recipe for kids as well as adults. That's not the name. Okay, I don't remember what the name is. So okay, so basically it's bananas, maraschino cherries, coconut, like coconut and honey. Okay, so basically you just take 3 bananas, maraschino cherries, a round plate, plastic plate, and some small toothpicks because you're gonna cut the cherries in half, you guys. And you're gonna put the bananas and the cherries and the toothpick, and then you put the coconut on top, and then you're gonna do a little honey. It is very healthy, simple, easy. We used to do scrambled eggs and hot chocolate and piggies in the blanket. We used pork sausage, you know. Some people use different things, you know, but that's what we did. And then here's a poem that I wrote, and it's called Family Tree. Thank you, Lord, for giving me my family tree. Family is more than the blood that runs through our veins. It's about forgiveness from the past to the present. Thank you, Lord, for giving me my family tree, for giving me patience, love, and care to learn that family is more than blood, but the whole world around us. Thank you, Lord, for teaching me to reach outside my family tree and help others around us. It's more than just the ups and downs of family. It's about the person who needs God's open door more than we do today. Thank you, Lord, for giving me my family tree, for giving me a chance to be part of your heavenly family and helping me to show others the way. So that's basically most of it. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to say if you guys have any questions right now, even about my 4th books or this one or any of them. Oh, okay. I guess I should say, I forgot. I need to introduce that I also have a website, which is, you know, Jamie's Bookshelf, and it's on my domain. I think I already mentioned that. And then I'm also at Amazon and Barnes & Noble now with ReadersMagnet, and I am working on my 4th book, and that, or excuse me, my 5th book now, and that one is how our furry friends and what they teach us. So basically, it's about love, care, patience. They teach us so much about all those things. We have to teach them first, of course, right? How we would like them to be. And it's also related to them and children. You know, you guys, we don't realize, but our pets, they have an education of about 5 or 6 years old. So if you're teaching them, that's the best time to be teaching your children as well. To be a good person, to be patient, to have love and care for other people. So, you know, I am grateful for this time today. I think is my time up? It is. Hey, I did good. It's hard to cover 4 books, you guys. Thank you.
All right, Jamie, thank you so much for sharing with us today. Did you enjoy the title here, Family Memories, with a little mystery in it? I didn't know quite what the mystery was going to be, but I think we found out. We got some good old recipes in here that we can use at home and all that. So listen, I want you guys to go pick up our book, Family Memories, with a little mystery in it. This has been such a phenomenal first half, you guys, has it not? We heard from Jill Frederick first, then we heard from David Tuttle, and we rounded up with Jamie Pulse right here. Some phenomenal authors, you guys. And I want to thank you guys that are tuning in with us live on all of our social media platforms. Listen, we're going to be taking an hour break, and then we're going to want you to come right back on. We'll be back at 1 o'clock. We'll be back at 1 o'clock live. So listen, I want you to, don't forget, tag your mama them, your auntie them, all the M's, okay, out there, so they can come back with us live. Thank you guys once again for tuning in with us in our audience today. Thank you guys so much, so much, so much. All right, bye for now.
Right, we got some tea food for everyone. We got some teas, wine and coffee. And then right next to this is a restaurant. If you want to grab some, there's Starbucks coffee as well right here. We'll be back here like in 5 minutes before 1 p.m. Thank you.